Do you also hate when opponents play the London opening against you? Well, here are 3 traps to destroy the London system in just a few moves. More than 70% of the players have fallen for these traps. After d4, knight f6, bishop f4, you will play c5. They defend. Now you will play queen b6. This directly attack the b2 pawn. White defends. Now you capture on d4. They take back. And now here, make the mistake of taking the pawn with your queen, because white have mate in one. Therefore, you should play knight to c6, developing your knight and hitting this pawn. White generally defends this pawn. Now you will play d6, preparing for e5. Knight f3 is a natural response. e5 anyway. Now they will take this pawn and you will capture back. Now here, if your opponent plays knight takes e5, then he can resign. Now you will play queen to a5, forking his king and knight. And if white blocks this check with his queen, then you will play bishop to b4, pinning his queen, then you just win the game. Now here's another variation possible. Black does not take this pawn and instead play bishop to g5. You can hit your opponent with bishop f5, deflecting the queen from the b2 square. If white take this pawn, then you can capture on b2 and his rook is also hanging. And there are various threats of bishop to b4. Here, many players after c5 plays knight to f3, defending this pawn. You can just take this pawn, and if they take back, you can play e5, forking his knight and bishop. But this isn't a fork, right? Because bishop can just take. It is a fork after queen to a5. Check. And no matter what white does, queen takes bishop is unstoppable and you are hitting material and you are winning the game in just a few moves. Before moving on to the last trap, if you made this far, don't forget to hit the like button. Let's move on to the final trap. More than 300,000 people have fallen for this chess trap. So after d4, d5, bishop f4, the basic London opening, you will play this shocking move h5. Now white will have no idea what black is trying to do, so he will just go for a natural move like e3. And if your opponent also plays this, then it's game over. After the move e5. Now here, your opponent have two choices, either to take with the bishop or take with the pawn. If he takes with the pawn, then it's over after g5, bishop moves back, and then h4, and his bishop is trapped. But your opponent will not take with the pawn, instead he will capture with the bishop. He will play f6, the bishop moves back, h4, the bishop comes up, and then he will play g5, and still his bishop is trapped. So he will have no choice but to exchange it for the pawn, and you are at a solid advantage. Now here, one of my opponent got so frustrated and played queen to h5 check and resigns. Can you tell why he resigned?